Hello friends, welcome to this video discussion on current affairs, politics, economy. As usual, we'll discuss a few questions in detail and the rest will be touch and go. Couple of questions in the beginning will take a little more time than the usual stuff. Here's the first question, friends. According to Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, India was the world's third largest military spender. That's the question, and we have a data chart for you. I got something for you. Here's the data chart. And what does it say? Share of military budget as percentage of world military spending. So the United States budget is 38% of the world's total military spending. I would want you to write a lot of stuff here because this data is important because it talks about the different kinds of priorities, the threats that countries face, why they spend so much money on on defense, actually on their defense needs. A lot of these human rights activists, heart bleeders, leftists, they say that we shouldn't be spending so much money on military, rather that we should be spending on education, healthcare and all. But then it is not for us, of course. It's not for me to tell you what should be the right priority. But I always want you to have some data so that you could discuss better, not argue better, discuss better. Okay? Never argue with fools. You should know this. You should never argue with your fools. If your cousin says something that X is wrong, and you know that X is wrong, X is right, you don't have to prove to your cousin that you're wrong, kind of thing. All you have to do is to talk sense. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Here's some data I would want you to write so that you have something to take home to the exams. Take home and of course take to the exam as well. This is seriously good data. But to be able to understand this, 38% of what world military spending. But what is world military spending? We can get that. But importantly, let's write data. Okay, I'll give you some 4 data points, like what's actual spending, percentage of the country's spending, percentage of the GDP, country's GDP. We'll look at the share in the globe, percentage share in global military spending, and in the end we'll look at whether it has been an increase or decrease. We'll not look at for all these countries. We'll look at 5 countries. Chaliye, likh there. Right. First, United States. 1. एक काम करते हैं, पहले पूरी दुनिया का लेते हैं. राइट. टोटल मिलिट्री स्पेंडिंग in 2019, total military spending in 2019, 1917 billion dollars. So $1,917 billion. That's close to 2,000 billion. That's close to 2 trillion. 1 trillion equals 1,000 billion. So 2 trillion, almost 2 trillion. So it's very easy to remember. This is the year of the Russian Revolution. 1917 is the year of the Russian Revolution. It's also the name of the film that won the British Film and Television Academy Awards for Best Picture. Okay. I just remember it that way. That's how I remember things, actually. Okay. So total military spending in 2019 was $1,917 billion. Next, right. Share of top 5. Second point. Share of top 5. Share of top 5. Share of top 5. Dash. $1191 billion. $1191 billion. $1191 billion. Dash. 68% of world total. 68% of world total. Now you may ask me, how do I remove 1191? Very easy. You must have heard of Prithviraj Chauhan, the great Delhi ruler. Prithviraj Chauhan fought against Muhammad of Ghur. See, in history, there are lots of Muhammads, and often they are separated, they are distinguished, they are identified easily in one particular manner. Historians have attached the name of the place the guy came from after the first name. If the first name was Muhammad, they would attach the name of the place the guy came from. Like for example, Muhammad came from a place called Ghur in Afghanistan, Ghur. So Muhammad of Ghur is Muhammad Ghur or Muhammad Ghuri. Muhammad Ghuri. So some people call him Ghori. So he came to India, attacked Delhi, 1191. He challenged Prithviraj Chauhan in the Battle of Tarain. In the Battle of Tarain, Tarain. The first Battle of Tarain happened there. Okay, and it is this battle that where Muhammad was defeated, but unfortunately Prithviraj spared him, and because his advisors told him that he should not kill this guy, and that guy went away, came back next year. Same place, they met again. This time Prithviraj was defeated because of some treachery and everything, and Muhammad imprisoned him. It is believed that he destroyed lots of temples. He looted Delhi, and then he took away. There are different versions of this. He took away Prithviraj to the place he came from, and then beheaded him and buried him there. He killed him there. But then there are other versions as well. So we'll not go there. But that's how I remember 1191. That's the year Muhammad came to, challenge Prithviraj Chauhan and faced defeat in the first battle of Tarain. So in any case, what I wanted to tell you is this bit of history, not that I remember. Okay, history is such a fascinating subject. So, okay, next, top 5, right? Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Underline that. 1. US dash $732 billion. $732 billion. I like the order. US country. Percentage of GDP. Oh, sorry. Just a second. Yeah, you're right. Now, what is it? US $732 billion dash 3.4% of GDP. 3.4% of GDP. 5.3% increase. 5.3% increase. 5.3% increase over 2018-19. 2018 लिखिए बस over 2018. Yes, I will use over 2018 dash 38% of world share. 38% of world share. 38% of world share. So one data point is clear. You know the share in the world. 38% of world share. Last point is clear to you. The first point is $732 billion total US spending, and that was an increase of that is 3.4% of their GDP. Okay, and that's a 5.3% increase over last year. Okay, yes. So next, China. Total is $261 billion. 261. China does not disclose it. It's a guess. $261 billion. They claim about 200. Sometimes they claim, in some documents they have claimed 250. But remember, the Chinese are generally very wary of these numbers. So $261 billion is the estimate. Okay. Please know that defense analysts believe that China would be spending at least 2.5 times this money. This is what they show. $261 billion is what they are showing to us. But it could be something around $500 billion. They could be spending that much money. And because there is no transparency in China, we cannot question. We just have to accept what the government, whatever the government says. So in any case, we have to go with the government. But $261 billion dash 1.9% of their GDP. 1.9% of their GDP. 1.9% of GDP. Dash percentage of 2018-19. Yeah. 5.1%. Yeah, 5.1%. I'm giving the exact numbers, don't worry. 5.1% increase over 2018. Next, dash, यहाँ पे क्या लिखा? 14% of global share, world share. 14% of world share. Next, India. Third is India. India. Total spending 71.1. Dash 2.4% of GDP. 2.4% of GDP. Dash 6.8% increase. 6.8% increase over 2018. What is the global share? 3.7%. 3.7%. Next. Fourth, Russia. 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 How do you say that? रशिया नहीं कहते हैं, रशिया कहते हैं. रशिया, दो साउंड होते हैं उसमें. रशिया, ओके. रशिया. रशिया dash 65.1. बाहर से अच्छा भी लेट 65.1 dash 8% of GDP. No, Russia, no. 6.5 13 14 3.9% of GDP. 3.9% of GDP. 3.9% of GDP. Russia 3.9% because Russia's GDP is quite large. 3.9% of GDP. Dash 4.5% increase. 4.5% increase. 4.5% increase over 2018. Over 2018. Last one, dash 3.4% of global budget, global spending. Fifth one, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia 61.9. इनका 8% होता है. 61.8, 61.9 dash 8% of GDP. So it's a very militaristic state. I mean, not exactly militaristic, but they're spending a lot of money, and especially when they don't have money. Dash percentage. It's a decrease. Minus 16%. Minus 16%. Minus 16% over 2018. Minus 16%. Now you write dash 3.2% of world share. 3.2% of world share. Okay. So why Saudi Arabia has seen a decrease? Because of a crash in oil prices. Last 2 years things have been pretty bad for Saudi Arabia. So oil prices crash, and as oil prices crash, their budget also was slashed. Now, a direct consequence of the slash in military budget has been on the conflict in Yemen. In previous 2-3, I think some 2 sessions back, we discussed Yemen. Yes, in one of those sessions on Yemen, in one of the questions on Yemen, we kind of brought in how the Saudis have, bombarded the country, destroyed, more or less destroyed large scale, large amount of infrastructure. Now that is because of sectarian conflict, Shia versus Sunnis and all that. Let's not discuss that. Because the money is not coming in. For now, till recently, the Saudis are fighting, and while the opponents, the Houthis, the human rights activists, the common people of Yemen were calling for a ceasefire, the Saudis would not listen to those guys. Now the Saudis don't have money. The money is drying up. Oil prices have crashed. There is no paisa. So what the Saudis did was they called for a ceasefire. Now none of their rivals is listening to that ceasefire. These rivals are fighting the Saudis, but the Saudis don't have enough money to spend on, fighting. So the military spending has gone down by almost 16%, my friends, which is phenomenally large for a country like Saudi Arabia, especially for the ambitions of the crown prince there, the crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, who is pretty, you could say that he's very, very, very much in control, but not so much in control to control the military spending. Country is in a very bad shape. There is not enough money, my friends. See, for Saudi Arabia to be able to make money, the oil price per barrel, 1 barrel equals 159 liters. How many liters? 159 liters. Remember, in different industries, 1 barrel volume means different things. But in the oil industry, 1 barrel equals 159 liters. Okay? 159 liters. So 1 barrel, as of today, the price could be, let's say, $10. In fact, it went down to negative territory. Well, didn't it? Yeah. If it's $10 a barrel today, you should know that Saudi Arabia requires the price to be at least $77 to be able to make money. 77 है कहाँ price? Today they have been pumping out money, they have been pumping out oil, and they have been suffering a deficit, huge deficit. They are spending from their pocket, from their reserves, to be able to ensure that the world share remains with them. But unfortunately for them, not much is coming their way. Things aren't working well for Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and it's unlikely to change in the near future. At least in 2020, things will be very, very poor for Saudi Arabia because of the coronavirus pandemic. The demand has gone down substantially, and as of today, there is a glut, oversupply of oil around the world. Storage tanks are full, and countries already have lot of tankers in the sea today. So this will suffice when the economies of the world over open up. American economy, Indian economy, they open up. They would require stuff, but we still have them. We still have our tanks full. So not just that, for the next maybe till middle of next year, things are unlikely to change for Saudi Arabia in terms of oil prices. I don't see that changing till 2020 and 2021 actually, to end 2021 if things go well. If they go bad, if this virus or the subsequent recovery goes poor, Saudi Arabia is in a very, very bad place, will be in a very bad place. So I just wanted to share these numbers with you, so you know how the military spending has gone up. See, in the last 2 years in the United States, military spending has gone up. That last 2 years because of Donald Trump. In the case of Obama, Obama's when Obama was the president, the military spending actually went down. Whereas in the case of Donald Trump, and one of his campaign aims was to raise military spending to ensure that American supremacy remains. So he spent a lot of money. In India, of course, we need to spend money because we had twin threats, China and Pakistan. And Pakistan's, of course, not such a big, it's more of an irritant. एक मक्खी की तरह होता है, एक हनीबी की तरह होता है, यहाँ पे कान के यहाँ स्मेल साउंड करता है, आवाज़ करता रहता है. but won't harm us. It harms us in a proxy way in J&K, by supporting terrorism elsewhere also. But otherwise, our bigger rivalry is China. And can we rival China? Very difficult. Very, very difficult, my friends. Extremely difficult. But let's see how things work. Because China's defense budget has been consistently rising for the last 25 years. Every single year they have been increasing their budget, my friends. Okay, though they have never been transparent. You see this coronavirus, their response to coronavirus pandemic, there has been no transparency. Such is the case. Now forget about coronavirus. They are not transparent about ordinary things. So it's a very far thing. What about Pakistan? Yeah, you would be interested in knowing how much Pakistan spends. What's the same line that we take? Why don't you write Pakistan? I don't exactly remember the rank of Pakistan, but it's not in the top 20, not in the top 20, not in the top 15 at least. Please write Pakistan. Total budget is defense spending is $10.3 billion. $10.3 billion. $10.3 billion. Dash 4% of GDP. 4% of GDP. Yeah, Annie. So dash plus 1.8% increase. Plus 1.8% increase. Plus 1.8% increase over 2018. Over 2018. And what's the global share? 0.5%. 0.5%. 0.5%. It's not mentioned. Anything below 1% is not mentioned here. But anyway, that's how I remember it. And the numbers that I've shared are 100% right. Okay, you could get back to us if you find any of these numbers incorrect. I have shared all the numbers with all honesty. I mean, 100% right. In fact, to share with you, I wrote this order first. See, I told you when I wrote this 1917 and 1191, and the order I wrote here, country, percentage of GDP, percentage increase over last year, and so that I don't forget while I was telling you, I asked you to stop for give me 5 seconds, and then I wrote percentage of world share as well. So the clarity is here, my friends. Okay. So that's a little about world military spending, my friends. I would want you to know this. And what is Pakistan's GDP? Any idea what is Pakistan's GDP? How much did Pakistan make last year? It's believed to be about $284 billion. Pakistan's GDP is $284 billion. That's less than 10% of India's GDP. Yeah. So they are very pissed off with India, my friends. They have always been pissed off with India, and that's because all their life they have thought that India wants to destroy them, and actually the truth is that India doesn't care much about Pakistan, my friends. India doesn't care much about Pakistan, and India doesn't today, large extent of the last 4 years, I have seen that India's foreign policy is moving away from being Pakistan centric, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's discuss next question, my friends. I hope you got something out of this question. So much money is being spent on all these things. Yeah. So, I just tell you, these countries like Italy, all these countries, they are actually spending less now. There's no money with them because of the financial crisis. Things are very bad in these countries, my friends. The military spending is going down. So is the case with I think France also. The amount is going down. The percentage might remain the same. The amount is actually going down in most of these countries in Europe because economy-wise they're just not doing well. Britain is in a very bad shape, very bad shape. Russia's military spending is rising because of years of consistent, pretty good oil prices. They have been storing their money. In fact, I was reading this morning that they had their foreign exchange reserves are about $538 billion, which are about 35 billion. Their target is $500 billion, but they are they have a foreign exchange reserve of more than what their target is, which is phenomenally good. And they're storing a lot of this stuff in the form of gold, sona. They're buying a lot of sona. In fact, you know what? The Russians have sona worth $126 billion. Recently, they bought a $2.5 billion worth of gold. So overall, their gold reserves are worth about $126 billion. Yeah, gold is a currency, my friends. Okay, our elders always say this, isn't it? Yes. So, which insurance company has launched a health insurance plan called Infinity? The answers are already there. Reliance General Insurance. Can we look at who are these? See, in some of these previous classes, I think it's very warm here. Some of these previous classes, I had mentioned, I had mentioned that all these companies are joint. Most of these companies are joint ventures, isn't it? So why don't we look at Ergo, HDFC, Ergo, Ergo. How do you say that? Ergo dash joint venture between HDFC Group and Fairfax. Fairfax. I repeat, Fairfax. Fairfax Holdings of Canada. No. I think something is wrong today. Lombard. I say Lombard. That Lombard is from Fairfax. I'm so sorry. Sometimes happens. Just right. ICICI Lombard dash joint venture with Fairfax Holdings of Canada. Fairfax Holdings of Canada. I don't know. I think the heat is getting to me. Very warm. Okay. ICICI Lombard dash, to repeat, ICICI Lombard dash joint venture with the HDFC, ICICI Group and Fairfax Holdings of Canada. Okay. Next, HDFC Group, HDFC Ergo. I'm sorry, it has not happened in all these sessions today. I think I'm a little uncomfortable with the heat and all that. HDFC Ergo dash joint venture between HDFC Group and Munich, M-U-N-I-C-H, Munich Re, R-E, Re, Munich Re. Remember, wherever you find RE in the end of the name of a company, okay, it's Munich Re, Swiss Re, yeah. Re is reinsurance. Some other time I will explain the concept of reinsurance, but Munich Re, okay. What is this? Max Bupa, last choice. Max Bupa Health Insurance. Yeah, Max Bupa dash joint venture between Max Group and Bupa of Britain. Bupa, B-U-P-A, Bupa of Britain, B-R-I-T-A-I-N, Britain. Reliance General Insurance is Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group. You could write this. Reliance General Insurance dash owned by Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group. Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group. Fourth one, New India Assurance. New India Assurance dash India's largest general insurance company. General insurance company. India's largest general insurance company. Dash founded by Dorabji Tata. Dorabji. Dorabji Tata in 1919 dash nationalized in 1973. Okay, from here the next one. Which of the following statements are true related to Mahatma Gandhi Bunkar Bima Yojana? Bunkar Bima Yojana. Yeah, this is a good scheme to learn about. It provides insurance to handle waivers in case of an accident or natural death. Yes, annual premium is 470, of which 290 is borne by the central government. 470 is the annual premium, 290 is paid by the central government. So only the remaining is to be paid by the viewer. Okay. It is implemented by the Ministry of Textiles. Yes. Shall we write just one line? Right. ये लिखिए, स्कीम का नाम लिखिए आप, महात्मा गांधी बुनकर बीमा योजना. Okay. Right. First point. You write the first point. Provides insurance. Write just the first point only. Provides insurance to handloom weavers. Weavers are handloom weavers. No, we are not talking power loom weavers. Handloom weavers in case of natural or accidental death. Next. Annual premium is rupees 470 dash, of which rupees 290 is paid by the central government. Next. Eligibility age dash 18 to 59 years. 18 to 59 years. 18 to 59 years. Next. It is implemented, the third point, you write that now. Third point, implemented by the Ministry of Textiles which, the Ministry of Textiles, which organizes Hastakala, 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 Sahyog, 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 Shivirs, Shivirs, Hastakala Shivir Hastakala Sahyog Shivers to create awareness about the scheme, about the scheme. ठीक है. That's it. Okay, guys. We need this because thousands, lakhs of viewers in India are meeting with, their livelihoods sources are, are going up in smoke because power loom, because the change in preferences. Not many people are wearing this kind of stuff, See, for example, the Patola silk saree, is very, very expensive. And it takes 4 to 6 months for to make one saree, and that costs thousands of rupees. But if that demand suddenly shifts, it's very tough for people to survive. Forget about that. Kalamkari, ikat, these are all very, very difficult things to manage. So things are changing. Hopefully, these kinds of schemes take care of people, vulnerable people. So the government's doing a few things. It's named after Mahatma Gandhi because Mahatma Gandhi believed in cottage industries. He wanted the government of India to promote these kinds of industries. Whom the following won the 2019 Templeton Prize? Oh boy, Templeton Prize. ये किसको दिया गया है? वहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. लेकिन उसके पहले हम what exactly is the prize for? Write this. 2019 or other simple, right? Templeton Prize. Templeton Prize. I'm going to give you a technical definition, a technical line of why, to who is it given, okay? I'm not going to talk about, I cannot make it easier than that. I cannot make it simple because मुझे हिंदी में इसके जो हम शब्द इस्तेमाल करने वाले इंग्लिश में इसका मतलब मालूम ही नहीं, हिंदी में बोलना नहीं आता. ठीक है, लिखिए आप. Given for Templeton Prize dash, given for outstanding contribution in affirming AFF MING, in affirming life's LIFE', life's spiritual dimensions, spiritual SPIRITUAL, spiritual dimensions, whether through whether through insight, insight, whether through insight, comma, discovery, or practical works, I repeat. Outstanding contribution in affirming life's spiritual dimensions, whether through through insight, discovery, or practical works. ये religion के हिसाब से नहीं है. It is about showing, it is in the quest to find life's meaning. Why all this stuff? Okay. Now, for example, the person who is it named after? You write this dash named after John Templeton. Next. Richest non-science prize. Richest non-science prize. SCIENCE. Science prize. Richest non-science prize. Just non-science prize. Okay. Last year it was worth, this 2019, it was worth 1.1 million pounds. That's about 10 crore people. How much? 10 crore, yes. Spirituality, lot of money, my friends. It's generally higher than the Nobel Prize. That's how it's decided. Okay. Last year का मिला था Marcelo Glaser. He's a Brazilian professor. 2019 winner Glaser. We'll discuss one choice. 2018 Abdullah II, King of Jordan. Abdullah II, choice 2. Abdullah II, King of Jordan. King of Jordan. 2018 winner. 2018 winner. Jordan is a country in West Asia, just below Syria, above Saudi Arabia, east of Israel. देखिए मैं बताता हूँ आपको. Glaser 2019, Abdullah II 2018, Platinga 2017, okay, Sachs 16, Vanier 15. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. नीचे से आप देख लीजिए ऊपर, या 5 वर्षों के विनर्स हैं पूरे. 5 years, last 5 years. Next. In which of the following states has the Lawrence and Tubro MBDA missile system set up a missile inert integration facility? What's inert? Missile integration facility means missile is basically an explosive, isn't it? So missile inert integration means without explosives. So missile is integrated, assembled without the explosives. So missile inert integration means without integration without explosives. Integration without explosives. L&T is an Indian company, isn't it? MBDA is a European company. It's a joint venture. MBDA itself is a mixture of 3 different companies. Don't write all that. Okay? So where is this? Where is it that they are setting this up? In Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore. To be precise, Coimbatore. पहले हम काफ़ी चीज़ें बाहर से खरीदते थे, अभी भी खरीदते हैं. We buy a lot of stuff from outside India, a lot of different stuff from outside India. But recently the government of India, a few years back, the government of India launched Make in India, and one of the thrust areas was defense. So rather than the foreign exchange going out, why not have our own stuff here? So we allowed FDI in defense sector 49%, which means there could be joint ventures. So foreigners are coming into India to make them here. L&T has started with this European company called MBDA. Yeah. So they like Tata's have with Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin also have with, I think, Mahindra. They also have a joint venture with Mahindra. So plenty of stuff happening in India. Missiles. They are making fighter bombers. They are looking at making bombs, cannons, all kind of stuff in India. Yeah. So this is one. Which Indian firm developed the Indigenous 180-kilometer strike range air-to-ground missile Kagantak? It is JSR Dynamics. It's started by a former Air Marshal S.B. Deo. JSR Dynamics CEO is S.B. Deo, D-E-O, Deo. Deo is a corruption, English spelling corruption of the word Dev. What is it? Dev. Yes. So this missile can reach 180 kilometers. It's launched from air. If it's fired from a height of 12 kilometers altitude, you can reach 180 kilometer target. Okay. It's air to ground. It's launched from the air to hit a target on the land actually. Okay. Talking of missiles, we can talk 2 more missiles here. Prithvi, surface to surface missile. Surface to surface missile. Prithvi, surface to surface missile. Surface to surface missile. Then more. Akash and Trishul. Akash and Trishul. Akash and Trishul. Dash. Surface to air missiles. Surface to air missiles. Surface to air missiles. Akash and Tushun. So they are launched from surface to hit a target in air. Now what is Khagantik? It's launched from air to hit a target on surface, ground. You know the full forms of all these places? BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, BDL, Bharat Dynamics Limited, HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited. Okay. Which country has auctioned licenses to hunt elephants to tackle the human-animal conflict? Botswana, that's the country here. This is Botswana, as you see. This is Botswana. Yeah, South Africa, Namibia, Angola, Zimbabwe, Mozambique. ये है आपका बोट्सवाना. This is one of the most advanced, economically advanced countries in Africa. But there are problems here. But before that, we'll write one line about Botswana. Right, Botswana. Dash. Capital is Gaborone. Gaborone. I repeat. Gaborone. Gaborone. Dash. Who's the president? Mokgweetsi Masisi. I'll spell. MOKGWEETSI. Mokgweetsi Masisi. 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 Okay. What's the currency? Pula. 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 Pula in the local bhasha means rain, and it's a desert place. So the importance of rain is signified through the currency. The lifeline of the country is rain, my friends. Okay. So the president is Mokgweetsi Masisi. MOKGWEETSI. Mokgweetsi Masisi. Okay. Now, see, this is one of the most advanced African nations. The per capita income is very high, but the major problem is HIV. Now, this country throughout the 80s, 90s grew very fast, but of late there has been a massive surge. Not of late, over the last 10-15 years, there has been a massive surge in HIV cases. It's in the top 3 in the world in terms of total, percentage of HIV population. You could write top 3 in the world. In the world with highest percentage of HIV infected people, with HIV infected people. So percentage of total population. Okay, right below that, 1 Swaziland. SWAZILAND. In brackets, I'll give you the new name. You write Swaziland is enough. Yeah. Too much of confusion, basically, too much of data. It's named after that. I think I discussed in the previous session when I was discussing Lesotho. I brought in Swaziland, the Raja here and all that. Swatini is a new place. Okay, Swaziland dash 27%, which means 27% of the country's population is HIV infected. 27%. Okay. Next, number 2, Lesotho. LESOTHO. Lesotho dash 25%. 25%. 3. Botswana, 22%. 22%. See, there are problems with the HIV. The problem is not, I'm not talking about the social issue, I'm talking about the economic impact. See, when a person is impacted with the HIV, human immunovirus basically, okay, it kind of breaks down the immunity system. As it breaks down the immunity system, the body becomes the host. It opens up to diseases. Fever is common, diarrhea, vomiting. I mean, the entire body breaks up. As the immunity system breaks down, the body becomes open to diseases. It kind of ravages the entire systems. When people are physically ill, they become less productive. As become less productive, they have less strength. Physically, they have less stamina, less strength. They would become less productive. As they become less productive, they do not contribute effectively, my friends. And in a labor-intensive country like Botswana, this is a major issue. So when the head of the family, let's say the head of the family is HIV and physically ill, it would mean that the quality of life of the family also decreases. So this is how it impacts countries, my friends. So this is not an ordinary thing. It can bring down entire societies, So top 3 in terms of absolute population, you could write. Those are the top 3. We discussed Swaziland, Lesotho, Botswana in terms of absolute, percentage of total population. But in terms of highest, population, right? In absolute numbers, 1, South Africa, about 7 million, it's 7.1, right? 7 million, 70 lakhs. 1 million is 10 lakhs, na? So 7 million is 70 lakhs. 70 lakh, 70 lakh. 2, Nigeria, about 45 lakh. 3, India, 21 lakh. It's to a large extent to all credit to the government of India. This incidence has gone down drastically in India. This used to be very extensive in India in the 80s, especially in the 90s. But of late, lots of campaigns by the government of India, safety precautions, what kind of precautions to be taken, is a major thing. One of those things they came out with was a campaign to use condoms, especially by truck drivers, because truck drivers will be away from home for a long time, and to satiate basic needs, they would visit prostitutes along the way. So this is how they would carry this home. My friends, the government of India has done a fabulous job. Of course, all the credit to the truck drivers also, because they adapted themselves to this particular method. So which is a very good thing, which is good for the society as such. And so today, the country as a whole has been able to, reap the rewards of good behavior, by certain vulnerable sections of the society. So I think we discussed all these countries. Haven't we discussed all these countries? Democratic Republic of Congo also we discussed. This is the major. Look at ये बहुत बड़ा देश है यहाँ पे DRC. लेकिन यहाँ की राजधानी यहाँ पे है. एकदम कोने पे होती है छोटी. Okay. और this is you can see this is these are the lakes. What I call Tanganyika. You have Victoria Falls here basically. This is Madagascar. This is Ethiopia, very big country. Kenya. This is Ethiopia यहाँ पे है. Sudan यहाँ पे है. ये रहा Ethiopia. और this is Sudan. This is South Sudan. South Sudan. Yeah. This is Central African Republic, the world's poorest country, most hungry also. Yeah. This is Morocco. Yeah. So this entire continent is attached to the Asian landmass by this small stretch of land here. Yeah. I've always been fascinated with all these things. और एक है आप देखिए यहाँ पे it is believed that this entire landmass was this one. You see this is a gap here era. तो ये यहाँ पे था. Okay? This is how it is. ऐसे. You take the world map, it's round, and you will find that it is not like the way it appears here. Okay? तो ये दिस वाज हियर, तो यहाँ से टूट के अब इट कट होके ऐसे कट होके टूट के, जियोग्राफिकली द लैंग्वेज इज डिफरेंट. ओके, what is the message of the World Health Organization to youth on the novel coronavirus? They came out with this appeal: you are not invincible. Yes, young people believe that they can get away with these kinds of things through, you know, they came out with this entire idea that it won't impact us. It will impact only the people in the, you know, at a higher age group. But you see that coronavirus is impacting all kinds of people, people of all age groups, and it's very, very dangerous, my friends. Very, very dangerous. It's dangerous more to do with the less with the fact that, you know, there is no, what to say, there is no medicine. It's more dangerous. It's dangerous more so because it's, you know, people wouldn't know. The incubation period is long and asymptomatic. Let's say someone has, let's say I have coronavirus, I would be meeting people, I don't have exhibit any symptoms, but I could be giving it to others. And this is where people like me will be called asymptomatic. What are they called? Asymptomatic. Okay, so I could be giving it to others, and this is the biggest danger. You know, young people might not show the impact, might not have major impact, but older people, when they go and meet older people, that is where the, you know, the transmission happens, and this is a danger part. That is a dangerous part. Invincible, that is, it's not that you cannot be, you know, defeated. That's what it means. You are defeatable. That is what it means. World Pulses Day is observed on Feb 10th. Feb 10th. January 25th. National Voters Day. National Voters Day in India. National Voters Day. National Voters Day. एक और है इंडिया में, National Tourism Day. National Tourism Day. Yeah, in India there are two: National Voters Day, National Tourism Day. May 12th. International Nurses Day. International Nurses Day. NURSES, Nurses Day. Next, July 11th, World Population Day. World Population Day. March 22nd, 21st. March 21st is, याद है मुझे, World Forestry Day. World Forestry Day. World Forestry Day. World Forestry Day. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. सो मई 11 तो नेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी डे था. May 12th is International Nurses Day, and as we go along, we'll have more days. India's first glass floor suspension bridge will be built in Rishikesh. It's in Uttarakhand. Glass floor, you know, it's so scary, isn't it? Yeah. A lot of people have vertigo. I mean, they look down and they kind of swoon. बहुत लोगों को डर होता है हाइट्स का. It's called acrophobia. Fear of altitude is called acrophobia. ACRO, acrophobia. Fear of heights. ACRO, acrophobia. ठीक है. I mean, काफ़ी लोगों को डर होता है. आपके टीचर को भी है. लेकिन please understand that it's a normal fear. Okay, because we can't fly. Rishikesh is in Uttarakhand, and you write one point. Yoga capital of the world. Yoga capital of the world. Its nickname, Yoga capital of the world. One more thing. Rishikesh and Haridwar. Another point. Rishikesh and Haridwar are India's first pair of twin, TWIN, twin national heritage twin national heritage cities. 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 National heritage cities. Okay. Now, national heritage cities. ये अनाउंस किया था, अभी हुआ है कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं, बट बहुत हद तक हुआ है एक्चुअली. ओके, सो वेयर इज हम्पी? हम्पी इज इन, व्हाट इज दिस प्लेस? कर्नाटका. Hampi is in Karnataka. This was more or less the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire. Vijayanagara Empire. Hampi, Vijayanagara are pretty close to each other. Okay. Kodaikanal, Tamil Nadu. Princess of Hill Stations. Princess, PRINCESS. Princess of Hill Stations. Princess of Hill Stations. Princess of Hill Stations. Next. Munnar is in Kerala. Darjeeling, West Bengal. Darjeeling, West Bengal. Okay. You could write Queen of the Hill Stations. They have their own name, all kinds of names. Okay. Which social media platform has announced it will label fake news and remove harmful data shared on its platform? Now the problem is, who is going to determine what is fake news and what is harmful? See, we are on. Most people are on Twitter these days, and as on Twitter, there is always a danger. Like, if a particular viewpoint, you write something and it does not conform to my viewpoint, I would call it harmful. You understand that? So confirmation is an issue here as to who is going to confirm what is fake news, what is harmful data. Which social media platform has announced that it will label fake news and remove fake? So to repeat that question, I did that. That's answer. Twitter. So एक काम करते हैं, हम सिर्फ एक कंपनी के बारे में लिखते हैं, व्हाट्सएप के बारे में लिखते हैं. Shall we write? Yeah, please write. क्योंकि हम सब इस्तेमाल करते हैं व्हाट्सएप. Yes. किसने फाउंड किया इसको? Right. WhatsApp dash founded by Brian Acton. Brian Acton, BRIAN, Brian Acton, 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 and Jan, JAN, Jan Koum, KOUM, Koum. Jan, JAN, Jan Koum, KOUM, Koum. ठीक है? So these guys founded this in, you could write dash 2009 dash now owned by Facebook. You see this LinkedIn is a professional networking website, or this is owned by Microsoft purchased LinkedIn for almost $26 billion. Not an ordinary number, my friends. WhatsApp को खरीदा Facebook ने $1.9 billion. So Twitter is also called SMS of the internet. Which of the following is the topper in the Deloitte Global Powers of Retailing 2020 index? So Deloitte came up with this index of whose highest sales in terms of sales. Okay, Walmart is world number 1. Walmart. You could write this Walmart. Walmart dash world's biggest retailer 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 dash $519 billion 519. billion. $119 billion. ओके, ये जो 2-3 आप सभी देखते हैं, आप देखिए श्वार्ज ग्रुप, इट्स अ जर्मन कंपनी. श्वार्ज इज जर्मन. The rest are all American, friends. Very big companies. Okay. हिंदुस्तान में काफ़ी बड़ी कंपनियां हैं. रिलायंस रिटेल है, इट्स अ वेरी बिग कंपनी. Last year it had revenues of $18.85 billion. How much? 1.8 $18 billion का रेवेन्यू था. तो it's the fastest growing retail company in the world. Reliance Retail. So do you need to know about anything else here? Not really, because they won't ask you these kinds of questions in the exams. Okay. The theme of the 15th meeting of G20 was, that answer is already there, but who are these G20 countries? G is group of 20. ये देखिए, that's the answer. Okay, ये रहे G20 members. जैसे कि हम हमेशा कहते हैं कि this boundaries of as repeated J&K aren't true. See, ये जो कलर है, ये सब G20 के मेंबर्स हैं. ओके, इंडिया, चाइना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंडोनेशिया, ये सब. ओके, इंडोनेशिया इज G20 मेंबर. साउथ अफ्रीका, पूरे अफ्रीका में एक ही देश है जो G20 का मेंबर है, साउथ अफ्रीका. ये देखिए बीच में है लेसोथो, ये है स्वाजीलैंड. हमें अपनी बोला था, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हमने डिस्कस किया था. ब्राज़ील, अर्जेंटीना, साउथ अमेरिका देयर आर 2. व्हाट आर देयर? अर्जेंटीना, ब्राज़ील. In North America, all 3 major countries, major ones. Mexico, ये है Mexico, okay. ये United States, ये है Canada. यहाँ पे रशिया, ये फ्रांस, जर्मनी, ब्रिटेन, इटली, major countries. टर्की, एंड वेस्ट एशिया में 2 ही हैं. टर्की एक है, एक सऊदी अरेबिया है. और आप देखिए यहाँ पे जापान है, साउथ कोरिया है. Now the funny thing is, you see these countries here in this light blue, whatever, cyan, aqua blue, this color. These are all members of the European Union, okay, which are not members of G20. See, the European Union is included in G20, but these members are not technically part of G20. Whereas you see this, France, Germany, Italy, Britain are also part of G20. Okay, standalone partners हैं, but as an entity they are also members of G20 as European Union members होने के कारण. और ये देखिए आप, इजिप्ट है, जो पिंक कलर में है, थाईलैंड, वियतनाम, 2 देश हैं यहाँ पे. दिस इज सिंगापुर, यहाँ बॉटम में ये देखिए सिंगापुर, यहाँ पे ये रहा सिंगापुर. ये है वियतनाम, थाईलैंड. This is, what is it, Sierra Leone, you have Egypt, this is Portugal, Spain or Chile. ये सब देश हैं. They were members as guests. They were guests of 2019 summit. 2019 summit के guests थे पूरे. Which of the following states won the first prize for the implementation of Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana? Madhya Pradesh. So what is Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana? Please write this. Right. PMMVY. Oh, these short forms are very tough to see. It takes more time to say www than say World Wide Web. आप देखिए किसी वेबसाइट के पहले www होता है, बोलिए उसको. www takes more time to say than World Wide Web. Yes. Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, underline that, first point. Maternity benefit program, maternity, M-A-T-E-R-N-I-T-Y, maternity benefit program, implemented in all districts, in all districts, in all districts, in all districts, in accordance with, in accordance with, in all districts under the, directly under the National Food Security Act, under the National Food Security Act, under the National Food Security Act 2013, 2013, National Food Security Act 2013. I repeat, maternity benefit program implemented in all districts under the National Food Security Act 2013. Next point. Launched in 2013. 2013. ये पहले जो आज सरकार है उनके आने के पहले लॉन्च किया था, बट इसका नाम बदल दिया बाद में, और थोड़ी better implement की इसको. Target beneficiaries are better now. It's being targeted better, and that's the most important thing than the name. Being targeted better. Next point. A benefit of 5,000 rupees. A cash benefit of 5,000 rupees. A cash benefit of 5,000 rupees. A cash benefit of 5,000 rupees is given to the mother of the first living child. Mother of the first living child, living होना जरूरी है, living child, to make up for loss of revenue, sorry, loss of income full stop. See, this is especially true for working women. You see, we are a poor country. See, all said and done, a lot of people in India are vulnerable. A lot of people in India are poor. As such, women constitute the poorer counterparts of their males or the men. A woman is poorer than the man, and it may sound a little harsh to you, but it is unfortunate. It's an unfortunate reality of our society. तो क्या होता है कि when the woman is pregnant, and given that vulnerable, people are very poor, desperately poor, they live in the margins of the society, most women work till the end of the pregnancy, till about the 9th month. Okay, most women work, construction labor, housemaids and all that, and that means their body does not have sufficient rest, and the nutritional intake, because they are poor, is not very good. And remember, 52% of Indian women are anemic. 52% of Indian women are anemic. Iron content is very low in women, Indian women. खान पान भी खराब होता है, हमें खराब मीन्स होता ही नहीं है, बहुत कम होता है, बहुत कम खाने को मिलता है. और जहाँ तक ये इसी में जो भाषा इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ सही है, एकदम सही है. आपको कहीं थोड़ा अटक सकती है भाषा, बट सही है कि we live in a society where women are not treated well, and women are the last persons in the family to consume whatever is left actually. So women don't get enough nutritious food to eat, especially people who are poor. Now the problem is, when the nutritional intake is not good, the child in the womb also does not have sufficient nutritious food, nutrition. And what happens in the late stages of the pregnancy remains, leaves an impact on the child throughout life. So if the child's nutrition the fetus does not have enough to eat inside, it would mean that the child's development is also weak. The physical, everything gets impacted. So throughout life, the impact could be felt, and doctors say this actually very openly. So to ensure better nutrition, their food is supplied under National Food Security Act. Food is supplied. Plus, once the child is born, once the child is born, the mother is not allowed to go out, because if the mother does not work, she gets 5,000 rupees, because the mother needs rest. The mother needs rest to recover from the difficulties of giving birth. Okay, the body undergoes tremendous amount of physiological and mental change even during childbirth, and it is for this reason that this scheme says women should not work immediately after giving birth, and in such case, because there will be loss of wages, we will give 5,000 rupees, and 5,000 rupees is a lot of money for a lot of families in India, my friends, especially because especially because a lot of food grains are subsidized in India. Food grains are subsidized, so the cost of food is very low. Healthcare technically is free in India, technically. So you need to look at how this 5,000 rupees can impact a family, my friends. It can impact in a very good way. So Madhya Pradesh came out on top, in the implementation of this scheme, which is very good for mothers. So from this, which of the following has been declared the official mascot of the National Games 2020? Ruby Gulla. What is Ruby Gulla? This is Ruby Gulla. ये चिड़िया है. It's a bulbul. The National Games 2020 will be held in Goa. Goa 2020, and this is what is called. This is the red. This is called the flame-throated bulbul or Ruby Gulla. English में नाम है Ruby Gulla. Flame, F-L-A-M-E, flame throated, T-H-R-O-A-T-E-D, flame throated Ruby Gulla, in brackets bulbul. So they inaugurated this. It looks so, I don't know about this, but this looks very beautiful. This looks very different from what it is actually here. Which country has stopped the breastfeeding support policies and programs conducted by the World Breastfeeding Trends Initiative? Sri Lanka. Not much to discuss. In the context of the RBI's Ways and Means Advances limit for the Government of India for the first half of financial year 2020-21, which of the following statements are true? The limit is 1.2 lakh crore, yes. Interest on WMA is repo rate, yes. Off year is from April to September, yes. We took these notes. If you recall this is what I told you, yes. And I got this yesterday, this session, this PPT. So it's a nice thing that we have all listed here. Trying, accepting, making, or issuing of any promissory note, hundi, or bill of exchange expressed to be payable to the bearer on demand by a person other than the RBI and the central government is prohibited under the RBI Act 1934. ये देखिए यहाँ पे Indian Contract Act 1872. What's a contract? A contract is a quid pro quo. इसमें something is written होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि भाई mom makes rotis for us, mom makes rice food for us. That's not a contract. Contract is where you do something written for me. Okay? आपको मैं पेन दूंगा, आप मुझे पैसे देंगे. That is a contract. Okay? Something in return should be there. Quid pro quo should be there. Okay? A bank without any branch network that offers its services remotely through online banking, phone or mobile banking, and interbank ATM. What is ATM? Automated teller machine network alliances is known as direct bank. जो भी है, remotely direct bank. हम जो scheduled banks वगैरह जाते हैं, typically they are called universal banks. They are called universal banks. Which of the following national parks is in Madhya Pradesh? Bandhavgarh. Bandipur is in Karnataka. Choice 1 Karnataka. Choice 2 Kerala. Choice 3 Rajasthan. In brackets you write Bharatpur National Sanctuary. Bharatpur, केलिया दियो, भरतपुर, भरतपुर, ये भरतपुर में है। पहले इसको घाना बर्ड सेंचुरी कहते थे, अभी केलिया दियो। मैंने कहा था ना, दियो इज देव। मानस इज इन आसाम, मानस इज इन आसाम। Bandhavgarh is very famous for its tigers, very famous for its tigers. So is Manas. When was Project Tiger launched in India? Project Tiger in India was Project Tiger was launched in 1973. 1973. Yeah, 1973. 1973. And Project Elephant 1992. 1992. RBI's open market operation transactions are carried out with a view to regulate. We discussed this also. Liquidity in the economy, price of essential commodities, inflation, borrowing power of the banks, all of them. Yes. To control liquidity, how much liquidity should be there in the market, because liquidity determines inflation. Inflation determines is a function of price of essential commodities. Yes. Which of the following acts was framed especially to deal more effectively with the problem of non-performing bank assets in the banking system? Hey, we discussed this also. Surfacing. You want to, the years are not mentioned here. You could do one thing. एक सबके साल लिखते हैं, फिर आपको मैं फुल फॉर्म ऑफ सरफरेसी देता हूँ. You write Industrial Disputes Act 1947. 1947. First one is 1947. RBI Act 1934. 1934. Banking Regulation Act 1949. 1949. Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. 1999. Surfacing 2002. 2002. Surfacing 2002. So write the full form of surfacing. Securitization, right? Okay, I think we discussed this multiple times, but anyway. Securitization, securitization and reconstruction. Securitization and reconstruction of financial assets. Of financial assets. Of financial assets and enforcement of securities, SECURITIES, Securities Interest Act. Securities Interest Act. Securitization of financial assets, securitization and reconstruction of financial assets, and enforcement of Securities Interest Act, that is SURFACE Act. Okay, we discussed this, how under this act, banks can sell, auction assets of defaulters to recover their loans. That's a scheme, that's nothing else. Okay, under SURFACE, banks can sell, auction assets, collaterals, that is assets of defaulters to recover their money, that is SURFACE. The public debt office of the RBI is a central depository for all the government securities, bonds अगर जितने भी होते हैं, government securities, treasury bonds अगर सभी इनके खाते में होते हैं. They have account of all the all whatever the government has issued to recover, to get money from public. So in this session there are a lot of questions which are very very easy to understand. I mean, the answers are already there on the screen, and there is nothing for me to discuss also because everything is on the screen. Which of the following is the function of the Bank Board Bureau (BBB)? Give recommendations to government for appointment of full-time directors. Yes. PSB directors. Full-time non-executive chairman. Yes. Advise how to raise money through innovative financial methods and instruments to deal with stress assets. Yes. Mergers, consolidations, everything. These are the functions of the BBB. Okay, there's hardly anything to discuss, my friends. Which of the following rate signals the RBI's long-term outlook on interest rates? Bank rate. Why? Because bank rate is the interest rate on long-term loans that RBI gives to commercial banks. Shall we take just one line? Write this. Bank rate dash rate of interest charged by the RBI on long-term loans to commercial banks. Okay? So, what is the current bank rate? 4.65. 4.65. You write this. Current bank rate 4.65. 4.65. Last wala repo rate. What is this? This is a rate of rate of interest on short-term loans RBI gives to commercial banks. What is the repo rate is 4.4. 4.4. Current aaj ka, May 14th, 15th. Okay, move May 14th. So fortnight ended the second week of May. Repo rate 4.4. 4.4. Bank rate 4.65. Reverse repo. This is shall I repeat the definitions? I don't know whether I should repeat the definitions because you already know all these things. Yeah. Repo rate 3.75. Reverse repo 3.75. So first वाला है 3.75. Second वाला है 4.65. I'll come in order here. Third wala 18%. Statutory liquidity ratio 18%. Fourth one, cash reserve ratio 3%. Repo rate 4.4%. 4.4%. To repeat, reverse repo 3.75, bank rate 4.65, SLR 18%, CRR 3%, repo rate 4.4%. 4.4%. Today a bit too much of confusion. Bit of confusion, not too much, but yes. Oh, are we done? So that's about it, guys. I think a bit थोड़ा एक दो जगह पे confusion हो गया. I think that's because of the heat and I could have structured it better. Thanks for being so patient. I hope you learned a few good things today also. Yeah, especially that simple thing, the defense spending, about Pradhan Mantri Bunkar Bima Yojana, about Matru Vandana Yojana. See, to understand a lot of this Bunkar Yojana, Matru Vandana Yojana, we need to know the social structure. We need to keep an eye on what is happening. Okay, we can't be so, we can be positive, but we should be aware of the reality. Okay, thanks for being here. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious, my friends.